Hello, good
Hi,
afternoon.
good afternoon.
We're well and
It's
truly in
4 o'clock.
afternoon.
It is.
Is
It's a
it tea
midnight
time?
afternoon. Not quite. Maybe actually. Maybe. In the north of England, when I moved to Manchester,
Hmm.
it's very confusing, but tea is dinner, right?
Yeah, it's super confusing.
So, so when I moved to Manchester, I should have introduced myself first, but we'll do that in a minute.
No,
I moved
no,
to
no. This
London
is nice.
and I moved to Manchester, and it only happened once, okay, but I did actually get invited to someone's house once for tea, really quite early as well, and
Uh-huh.
I was surprised to find food, dinner. I thought I was going round for a cup of tea.
And they're like,
Um,
no.
no, tea at like
It is very
6:30.
confusing.
Yeah,
What do you normally say? Just dinner?
I think I say dinner. Yeah,
Yeah,
dinner.
it depends. So in the UK, I imagine in the US as well, in
Uh,
most English-speaking countries, they have different words for it. I think I've asked a few colleagues to see what they say, but it could either be one of three. So dinner is going to be the standard one
yeah,
that I think everyone gets and everyone understands. Then you have tea, and then you also have supper.
yeah.
Any three of those could be the evening meal.
Could be. Yeah, got to be careful.
Um, yeah. It's also confusing because dinner sometimes can be lunch,
Yes, this is true.
which is
Yeah,
so factor that in, and it's a
yeah,
disaster.
yeah.
Um,
You
I
could call
personally
it the
say supper.
evening meal. Oh, you say
Exactly.
supper. Okay.
I say supper. I don't know if supper is related to generation as well, because my
Yeah.
dad is 70 odd,
Uh-huh.
and he has always said supper,
Okay.
always.
I think it is a bit old school. Yeah, supper.
I think I asked Joanna as well, and she said that she says supper.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Hmm.
interesting. So I don't know. I don't know.
Hey,
Hello. Hello, Mary from
Mary.
Naples. And it's
Hello,
Luca.
hello.
It's our own very own Luca Ricci. How
Hi.
are you? It's a pleasure to see you too, Luca. Look at his photo as well. Isn't he the most charming man you've ever seen?
Yeah, ready to work. Ready to
Exactly.
work.
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for asking, Luca. How
Yeah,
are you? How are you?
I'm also okay. I'm also fine. Hi, Anna. Hi, Sole. Hey, hey.
Hello,
Um,
hello.
should we introduce ourselves, having just had a nice little chit chat about dinner, tea, supper? I'm hungry
Yeah,
now. Um,
it's nearly time. At the end of this, I'm sure it
tea
will be
time.
tea
I will
time.
actually make a cup of tea. Yeah. Hello,
Exactly.
everyone. My name is Hal, and I've seen some of you before. Nice to see you again. And if I haven't seen you before, hello, good afternoon. I am from London, and I teach here in Bologna. So yeah. And my favorite meal of the day. Ooh, I'm actually gonna say breakfast because
Mm-hmm.
not every breakfast is, really special. But I love going, especially when very hungover, to a big, um, uh, we call it a greasy spoon in English.
Uh-huh.
A greasy spoon, like a cafe, but not a classy French cafe, like a caf for a fry up, a traditional English breakfast, even a vegetarian one. It's a bit sad. With friends, the morning after the night
Nice.
before.
You need all
I've
of
had
that protein again.
exactly. I've had many lovely hours spent in a greasy spoon having a big, like horrendously big breakfast that goes on for hours. Love
It's
it.
good though. It's real
Yeah,
good.
yeah. How about
Sola
you?
says that she's
Ooh,
just ordered ice cream.
I
Why are
didn't
you
know.
sad? You should be happy.
Yeah, you should be happy. Turn that frown upside down. You should be
That's a
happy.
nice one. Turn that frown upside
Um,
down.
I still haven't ordered anything to be delivered. I'm trying to cook lots, but I do miss ice cream. Maybe I should
I
get an ice.
ordered for the first time since I've been at home yesterday
Yeah.
night, because my partner really wanted some pizza.
How'd it go?
So it went well. We ordered from
Good.
Domino's
Uh-huh.
on her request. It's not, she's the Italian.
Don't
Don't,
panic, everyone.
please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. And the guy arrived and he
Smooth.
left the pizza. So essentially you had to write where you wanted the pizza to be left so that there was no contact.
Yes.
And
You have to
it was
specify.
exactly,
But
it
did
went very
you leave it
well.
on the street? Because I think there's nowhere for them to leave. My apartment just goes straight out
Yeah,
onto the
no,
street. So they would just
luckily
have
we
to
have
leave
a handrail, like a wide handrail that he can just leave it on. So we said, please leave it on the handrail in the entrance. And he left
I
it there.
don't know how I
Very
would arrange
interesting.
it. Mm.
Hey, Mary, so your favorite meal of the day is breakfast. Nice. Tell us what.
Me too. Me too.
So she can't start her day without milk. Yeah.
For me, it's a banana. I have to have a banana before 10 a.m. Otherwise, the whole day is a disaster. Honestly.
We also have soda.
Sorry, that's okay. You're more than allowed to eat badly in this
Yeah,
quarantine.
exactly. Just imagine that when we're all free, it will be nice out. The weather will be nice, and we can all do much more outside. It should be very nice.
We'll skip around town. We'll run around town. We'll be so happy.
Exactly.
That the weight will just drop off us. But be kind to yourself. Eat whatever you want.
Luca says that he's fine and his favorite meal of the day is lunch because my wife prepares good things. For dinner, we are on diet.
Okay. But just for dinner.
Just for dinner. Just for dinner.
I like that. That's a good diet.
Sola says that she likes Domino's too. Thank God. Do you want to talk about how horrendously overpriced Domino's is in the UK? It's like £16.
Is it not here? I've never been here.
No,
but
it's normal.
In the UK, Domino's is so expensive. And what's really strange about it, guys, and I don't know if you found this, Alex, it's like, it's kind of promoted as if it's a sort of studenty thing, right? So often at universities on like Freshers Week, like your first week at university, famously there will be Domino's people giving out leaflets to get a cheaper Domino's pizza, and it's kind of associated,
or even a free pizza,
or even a free pizza. But then actually, you're right. Once you've finished with the promotion and you just have to pay the normal price, it's like
£16 per
£16.
pizza.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But a lot of students buy it because, you know, students aren't the best at budgeting.
No, it's so strange because there are definitely local pizza places, even in the UK, that are so much cheaper than that.
No,
Here, is it very expensive? Domino's in?
No. At the moment, they've got a few offers because obviously their business is suffering.
Yeah.
But usually it's around a normal price for a normal pizza, like €5-6.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's normal. It's normal.
Anna, my favorite meal of the day is dinner because I have more time to chill with friends or my family. Lunch is normally faster and I eat alone. Lovely.
Nice. Really good expressions as well.
Perfect.
And we also have Julia from Pescara. My favorite meal of the day is breakfast because I'm addicted to sweet.
That's good. Let's start your day with an addictive binge on sweets. Perfect.
Exactly. I'll also introduce myself. So my name is Alex. I come from England in the southwest, and I also live in Bologna, obviously. Well, not obviously. How would they know that if I just like saying obviously for no reason. Yeah. And my favorite meal of the day, I think, is going to be supper because it's the time when I actually cook something. So I can get a little bit more creative. I've got a little bit more time to choose something to cook and prepare. And it's I find it quite calming, almost like a little zen. You know, you chop all of the things up. I'm also very, very tidy with my kitchen. So as soon as I have something done, I try and clear the area for the next preparation.
I do
So
that. Do you wash? I sometimes even will wash stuff
yeah,
while
exactly.
cooking because
Yeah,
I'm
because
waiting
it's
for it to
cooking.
cook. Yeah, so I keep
Exactly,
doing it.
exactly.
But when I
Virtual
sit
high
down to
five.
eat,
Cool.
this time. But so then when I sit down to eat, or when we sit down to eat, it's basically already tidied up. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Isn't it, that's
Me
just
too.
logical to me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know what
understand.
it is. For me, it's because I don't want to finish the meal and then have to tidy
Yeah,
up chaos. That's right.
exactly. Because you want to relax. You eat the
Yeah,
meal,
yeah.
relax, and then you can retire to the couch or the bed, wherever you want, and you're
Tired to the
free.
couch, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, I do the same thing. That's strange. There we go. Anyone else out there? Tidy up as you are cooking.
Yeah,
Um,
tidy up.
Hi,
Tidy up is
Valeria.
to organize, make sure everything is clean,
Mm,
clean everything. Because there are lots of people who cook and everything just ends up being a pigsty. Let's
yeah,
write pigs. Oh,
pigsty.
is that STYE? I
I
imagine
think
it is.
I
Is it
think so.
one word?
Maybe STY even. Do you think it's
Yeah,
STYE?
I'm not
Um,
sure. Pigsty.
pigsty, total mess.
Okay. Oh, it's one word and it's just, yeah,
One
total
word.
mess.
Hi, Valeria. We've got another vote for breakfast. There's quite a lot of breakfast people out there. Me too.
Yeah. Breakfast is strange because breakfast here in Italy isn't as important, I feel, because
Mhm.
it's usually quicker. It's like a quick pastry, maybe a biscuit or two and some coffee. Whereas in England, um, my dad is a perfect example where he has his cereal, then two slices of toast, and then maybe a hot drink as well. And that's a lot in the
That sounds
morning.
good. Yeah, that's probably about right. Plus a banana.
Plus a
Or
banana, exactly. Okay, great.
we didn't mention brunch. Sorry, just to
Oh
quickly
yeah,
put
no,
in a little
brunch.
word.
You want to do
Brunch
11s as well.
or 11s, tea time, breakfast, brunch, 11s. It depends when you have breakfast, but yeah, lunch, tea
Yeah.
time, dinner, a snack somewhere. Anyway,
So
brunch is a bit of an institution now in the UK, especially among
yeah,
people our age. Yeah.
exactly. We tend to wake up a little later. So it's
Mm.
not breakfast, it's not lunch, it's in the middle, it's maybe something on toast, something a little bit more than a typical breakfast.
Eggs,
Brunch,
eggs, eggs,
avocados.
avocados,
Yeah,
waffles,
but
everything under the sun.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
Anna, it is amazing. It is
It's
amazing.
becoming more common. Like there are a bunch of cafes that have
Yeah, you
opened
see it sometimes. Yeah, in
pop
Bologna at
that have
least.
popped up, and they're, I think maybe I guess it's influenced from America as well, because a lot
Yeah,
of them have pancakes with a lot of syrup and bacon and avocado and whatnot. Valeria, week time usually is pretty quick, but I love weekend one. Okay, breakfast. Yeah. Definitely, definitely. But you need to prepare the breakfast the day before. If it's like pancakes or something, because you don't want to be mixing batter as the first. Well,
this
it
is the
depends.
thing.
Depends when you wake
Yeah,
up, I guess.
yeah. Porridge you can do easy
Yes, I love
in the
porridge.
winter.
Have you got some porridge with you? I do.
You looked away as if you're talking to someone else for a second. I
No,
was like,
it's because I was looking at it in my cabinet.
I see, I see. I don't,
I
I
know
don't,
where it is.
I don't. But it snowed last week, so suddenly I want it to warm up. Yes,
Exactly.
breakfast holiday.
Yeah, starving Marvin as well.
I wake up starving.
Yeah, well, Marvin, yeah. You can say that if you like. Okay, guys. So today we're not talking just about meals, obviously, as nice as it would be.
We could do forever, but here we are.
We could do. Julia says that brunch is too expensive. Careful,
Um,
not too much, just too expensive in Milan. Yeah,
because it's a cool thing that
yeah.
probably it can make you pay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they make you pay out your. What is it that we say? Pay out your.
Yeah. Your nostrils? No.
No, I
Hey.
swear there's something.
Yeah,
Hey, an arm
there
and
is.
a leg, you can
Hey,
say.
an arm and a leg. Yeah. Oh, your eyeballs? No. Dining etiquette.
Exactly. Oh, and we have one more from Fabiola from Rome, and her favorite meal is today, I guess, is Sorbillo's pizza. Is it?
Nice.
Are you sponsored?
No, but that sounds excellent. But I
Does
thought so.
sound good.
I think I went to Sorbillo's in Naples. Does that make sense? Is it a chain? Is it a
Yeah, chain.
okay? Well, not a
Maybe.
chain, but I swear
I
I went to Sorbillo's. I saw Billows in Naples, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
find out. Fabiola, please tell us. So
Yeah.
today we are doing dining etiquette. Would you say, Hal, that you follow dining etiquette or not?
Yeah, yes, yes, I do, but I don't have much time for it. So I think I probably do follow it, but I don't have much time for it. By which I mean, guys, I don't have much time for it means I don't really care about it, and I don't like it when people call attention to etiquette or somebody else's
Yeah,
etiquette. I think it's
especially if it's
annoying.
artificial, like if it's something that really doesn't need to be observed,
Yeah,
who cares?
who cares? But when I was a kid, my grandparents were obsessed with it. What my dad's parents were obsessed with dining etiquette, right, all the way down to not putting your elbows on the table.
I don't get that.
I used to get shouted at if I did it.
Oh
It was
my
horrible.
God.
Yeah, what a
Oh,
child.
yeah, no. I'm going to write a phrase. So during the current lockdown, dining etiquette has gone out the window.
Nice.
So when something goes out the window, it isn't literally goes out the window, but it just doesn't matter anymore. It's just ignored completely. It's gone out the window.
Yeah.
For example, usually when I prepare a meal here, even though we've got our sofa and everything, and obviously this is our flat, we can do what we want. We still usually eat at the table, but during this period, we've been eating on the sofa just because we want to be a little bit more comfortable, I think.
Hmm. In contrast, I get dressed for my dinner during quarantine, and I light a candle, and I lay the table.
Really?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I live on my own, guys. I don't do any of that. It has also gone out the window. Although I don't
I
eat on
imagine
the sofa.
I imagine a very nice like ritual that you had.
Yeah, it would be lovely. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll start doing that. Who knows what will happen in the
Tune
next
in
few
a
weeks?
week and see.
Yeah, yeah. Black tie. Um,
Okay. So today we have tea time etiquette and vocabulary. Fine dining etiquette and vocabulary is going to test us as well.
yeah, I think so.
Definitely. So, Hal,
Should I read?
yeah, please.
Dining etiquette. What do we mean when we talk about dining etiquette? Can you think of some examples of good and bad dining etiquette? Have you ever been to a fancy dinner? When? And do you know the difference between high tea and afternoon tea?
How interesting. Lots of questions. I'm going to put the have you ever been to a fancy dinner as the focus.
Yeah,
But
that's about
please
it.
answer all of the other questions as well. So, what are some common dining etiquette rules here in Italy? And do you observe them? So, do you actually do them or don't you? Do you ignore them? And do you think maybe it's changed from one generation to another? I think in England it's definitely changed. It's a little
Over
bit more
time.
relaxed.
Yeah, yeah,
It's much more
yeah.
relaxed. For good or for bad, I don't know. I think it's better that it's a little more lax now because I, from the sounds of your childhood, it was pretty sort of like strict.
Yeah, it was, yeah. When my grandparents came to stay, And I mean, we're talking not exclusively, but it's also to do with like class, right? It's quite often
Definitely.
you can feel uncomfortable in certain situations because there's an etiquette and you don't know the rules about how to dress or how to eat. And other people feel much more comfortable in that setting who are maybe more upper class or in class in the
Or
UK,
aspiring.
aspiring upper middle class, upper middle class. Yeah. So
we've got a ridiculous class system in the UK.
we do. It's very delicate and subtle. But yeah, so I think it's definitely for the good that it's less important. I think there are probably some things that still matter, that are still important, because they're sort of, for example, okay, again, I don't mind this personally, but eating with your mouth open is not good dining etiquette, right? And also, I think it's probably, most people think it's bad manners, and most people probably find it quite disgusting. So that one I can kind of understand, because it has a basis in an almost natural reaction. If you're talking to somebody and they're chewing food,
it's just not very nice to look at.
It's not very nice to look at, exactly. It's a mess. It's But other ones I don't understand.
We have Anna says that her boyfriend graduated last week, and she wanted to invite him to a fancy dinner, but of course all the restaurants are closed. We have to postpone everything at the moment. everything.
But there will be a dinner, Anna, I'm sure.
There will be.
You guys can celebrate when
you can believe it.
Over. Absolutely.
You can believe it. Exactly. It's interesting as well that dining etiquette is obviously not exclusive to any one country. Lots of different countries or societies have different opinions on dining etiquette. Like my mum is the head of department of modern languages at my secondary school. So she gets a lot of foreign assistants from different parts of the world. And quite often it's the Chinese assistants that have got very different ideas on dining etiquette. For them, it's fundamental that in order to show appreciation for the foods that they are eating, they need to make noise when eating. So lots of chewing sounds. So I think, Mary, you would hate it.
Well, we call it also slapping your mouth, no? Like the slapping.
Yeah, exactly. Slapping your mouth.
It's really, I don't like it at all.
But not only that, but also punctuated with and burps as well. So that is to show that you are satisfied and that you are enjoying your meal. If you do not do that, it shows that you do not like what you are eating.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Whereas my mum used to say something at dinner, which is when nobody is talking and it's completely silent, you say, "Oh, the food must be good," because everyone is being very quiet and enjoying it. That was more because we had some awkward silences around the dinner table. But anyway, the food must be good. The point is nobody is making any noise, right?
Exactly.
Because we're all enjoying the food.
Especially start any kind of British sentence with O, and it becomes 10 times more British.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, the food must be good. Yeah, exactly, Fabiola. Eating and speaking at the same time.
Exactly. Careful. Speech is what a leader will do. Maybe in front of a lot of people, they will give a speech, right? So Conte has been giving a lot of speeches in this time, for example. So you need to say eating and speaking at the same time. Good job there, Fabiola. And Anna says,
I saw that in India, to burp in a restaurant is not rude at all. On the contrary, it is a sign of the fact that someone has enjoyed the meal. Perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's strange. Could you get used to that, Hal?
I think I could. because, well, no, I think I could, honestly, more than most people. I don't mind.
I don't know if I could. Like, if I'm just surrounded by people
But people
burping all the
burping, yeah.
time, like a little orchestra.
Maybe not.
This is a
Maybe
bit.
not.
I don't. I don't know if it's really like every single time you enter a restaurant or anywhere
Yeah.
that you eat, and you're immediately greeted by the sounds of burps going
Yeah.
on.
But the question is it really disgusting, or do we just think it is because we've been brought
That's
up
a
that
good
way?
question.
I don't know if it.
That's a good
And
question.
well, I think showing what you're eating when you're talking is not good. I don't think.
Mm.
I think I got used to other people's burps, but I couldn't burp myself. Right.
Right.
So exactly, Anna. I agree. Probably you want to say I think I would get used to, because it's a kind of conditional phrase. If
Mm,
I lived in India, I think I would get used to other people.
exactly.
Nice. Yeah, me too. That's what I think. I wouldn't
It's
start
just
burping myself. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Also, because if it's expected of you, hmm. I'm
If you
trying
feel
to.
pressure to
I'm trying to
burp.
picture the British Empire, like the colonists, when they actually went to India. You know, they were
Um,
all like with the handlebar mustaches and
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
very,
yeah,
very dignified. And
yeah.
then they have to burp.
Right. They feel pressured into burping.
I
I
can't
guess.
imagine that
Yeah, I
happening.
guess. Drinking with the pinky up.
This pinky, little finger, the pinky.
I
We're
think
going to learn a little.
it's quite isn't that's quite posh, isn't it? In my head.
Yes, I think it's more of a fiction than anything. Like no one does this.
No, not
No
like
one.
that. Although mine does go out a little bit sometimes if I've got a mug.
Yeah,
Honestly, not like this though. It's very fancy.
yeah. It's a little much, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little exaggerated, perhaps. Maybe you'll see it in films for sure.
Mm.
So we've talked a little bit about dining etiquette. Fancy dinners. Have you been to any? How you must have in your time.
Yes, I have. Yeah, there were some. Yeah, no, I have. At university, and then I have a friend who's quite fancy, who
Hmm.
had a dinner party last summer actually at their
Hmm.
fancy house. It was quite fancy. At the same time, it was sort of fancy, but I keep saying fancy. It was fancy, but it was quite relaxed. But those are
Okay.
almost the worst because I don't know, because you feel it's
At
kind of
ease.
relaxed, but there are
You're
also kind
lulled
of
into a false sense of
angels.
security.
Exactly. You're lulled
Yeah.
into a false sense of security, and you're not actually quite sure what the rules are. Yeah. And weddings, I guess, but weddings are so much fun that they don't feel that
To
stressful.
be lulled into a false sense of security is to become comfortable with a situation because it looks relaxing, it
Hmm.
looks relaxed or normal, but in reality,
It's not
you need you need to be you need to pay a little more attention.
right. Yeah,
Um,
exactly. You should pay more attention than you are giving.
that's a difficult concept,
It
actually,
is.
isn't
It
it?
is. We lull a baby to sleep, for example. So if you are
Exactly.
lulled to a false sense of security, you feel nice and relaxed and safe.
Exactly.
But it's false because there's actually danger. Yeah.
Exactly. Not usually like danger, but for example, in the example that Hal gave at
Right.
a maybe fancy dinner, then if everyone is relaxed, then you think, oh, this is fine. I can be myself.
Yeah, I'll
No,
burp.
no.
And then you burp and everyone, no, no.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you were lulled into a false sense of security.
And
So
then you put in your place a little, you feel a bit
yeah,
stupid because
yeah,
you thought that you could be normal, but in reality you couldn't.
exactly.
Um, Horrible. I went to a really fancy
Are
dinner
you?
in Warsaw once because
Ooh.
everything in Poland is very, very, very cheap. Even the like high dining places. So we had baby lobster.
Wow.
The first time, I think the only time in my life, because it's just too expensive otherwise.
Yeah.
Baby lobster. I think we had 3 of them. It was just ridiculous. 3 baby lobster.
Each?
We had, I think it was,
3 baby lobsters.
it's because it was so fancy. And then they even had the champagne glass in that, not in just any bucket, but one of those really classy steel buckets, all with ice and everything. With the waiter, with the drape and everything was as fancy as it could be, with some really nice cutlery too. But it was very, very cheap. It was cheaper than a standard night out.
And the Domino's pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
In the UK.
But everything is so cheap there. So if you want to eat fancy, go to Poland.
Poland. Probably cheaper to fly to Poland and have a fancy dinner than it is to have a fancy dinner in London or Milan.
Yeah, like you get a taxi to a restaurant in London, it's already...
Yeah. 20, 30. Did you have fun? Did you feel relaxed and at ease?
I did, because I mean, we were the paying customers, so fine. But yeah, if it were like a formal dinner, I think I would have felt a little bit more, I would have been a little bit more guarded perhaps, and because I would have felt observed perhaps by everyone.
Yeah. Ooh, I went to a fancy dinner. Thank you, Mary. I went to a fancy dinner a couple of months ago for my boyfriend's birthday. It was a Japanese restaurant.
These are the best friends.
Or at least I did, because he paid for everything. Good. Oh, best friends, yeah, or boyfriends. Yeah, BFFs.
Is it best friend forever?
Best friend forever's birthday, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know internet acronyms, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Valeria has only been at weddings, yeah. They're very fancy.
And they can be very fancy. But I feel at weddings it's kind of fun because everyone's such a lovely atmosphere.
Tipsy as well.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of, oh, isn't it funny that we're having a fancy dinner, but we're all really drunk, and it's just
exactly. Fabiola says yes, she has. The last before this lockdown, of course. I went to a fancy dinner for my friend's 50th birthday party. My friend's 50th. You could even just my friend's 50th. To be honest,
you know what that means.
Yeah.
Best friend. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you. And the difference: high tea, afternoon tea.
Anyone?
It's a bit of a misnomer, really.
Is high tea the northern thing?
High tea apparently is a little snack that you have
after work.
Exactly.
Okay.
And afternoon tea is the fancy one.
Right. Okay. Got you. You think it would be the other way around, because high sounds like high society, high upper class.
Honestly, I don't know why it's high tea.
Yeah.
It's high time for tea. I have no idea. No idea.
But afternoon tea is, like scones and cream and
exactly.
All the fancy Chinaware out. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to try and find it. There's a really nice place near where I live, and you can try and find. So I'm going to share the menu, so maybe you can have a look at what.
Great. If you go, I mean, has anyone visited the UK, visited England specifically, and had afternoon tea in England? Let us know. There is also, well, okay, the thing is, in the UK, it is kind of true that a lot of people will just drink tea quite constantly.
In the morning. Yeah, constantly, you're right.
So you will usually have a cup of tea, if not a coffee, with breakfast or around breakfast, and then probably another one late morning, right? At work,
Yeah,
a tea break
exactly.
in the morning, late in the morning.
It's basically almost like a ritual for people because they know that everything is okay if they can have their tea.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're having a stressful day, if they have their tea, everything is okay. They don't have to worry. I have my tea. I'm ready.
Exactly.
It's a bit strange, really. So if you want to look at the high tea, no. So high tea is not fancy at all. High tea is like a snack when you return from work. And it's usually something that either the working class or lower class has. Traditionally, now I think it's probably much more standard just to return home. Return from work.
We would probably just say snack these days, right? You get
Yeah,
home from work, and at like maybe between 5 and 6, 6:30, you have a snack.
Exactly.
Although in the north, people do sometimes eat very, very early, so they might have dinner at 6:30, 7.
We have one from Anna too.
Yeah.
Last May, she was in London for her mother's birthday, and they went for an afternoon tea in the hall of a hotel. Nice. Some hotels do really, really good afternoon tea. You're right about that. The last afternoon tea I had was in a really fancy hotel in Wales, in Merthyr Tydfil.
Ooh, I've been to Merthyr Tydfil.
It's very nice. It's a charming place.
I'm wondering what Anna's hotel was.
Yeah.
Kind of aperitivo, but much less, in my mind at least, Fabiola, much less, I don't know, fun. And you just go home and you have a slice of toast. But yeah, it's the same idea. Right? It's too early for dinner, but you want to eat something.
Yeah, and it's usually not serious. So this is another thing with afternoon tea is a lot of people think that it's sweets and it's exclusive dessert food, so cakes, etc.
Right.
But in our afternoon tea, if you look at the link in that I sent in the comments, then you can see, if you type in on Google like Angel's Babacum, you'll find it. They also have normal sandwiches as well.
Wow, this place looks great.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It really is.
Crumpet.
Yeah.
Crumpets and toast. Ooh. No, I actually can't look at this. It's making me too.
I know.
Bad.
It's bad.
They've got a thing here saying it says high teas.
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's later.
So you see the high. I think I really don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just the time of day. I think it's changing, honestly. Especially seeing as high tea. As soon as you read it, you imagine that it's sophisticated, fancy. So usually, if something exists like that in a language, more people misunderstand it than actually understand it, and then it becomes it changes to the wrong thing over time.
This is true.
So to be honest,
so if you get it wrong, guys, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
No,
I think most people in the UK don't know the difference.
Exactly. And Valeria says that
when I was working in New Zealand, we used to have our morning break, and they called it morning tea. Yeah, a tea break in the morning.
A tea break, yeah, definitely a tea break. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, let's stop talking about that. So we have these two. So do you want to take a paragraph each?
Sure thing. Shall I go first?
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, tea, more than just a drink. Tea, as we all know, is a very popular drink in Great Britain. tea is drunk frequently throughout the day, and when a friend or neighbor stops by for a visit, it's only polite to offer a cup of tea. However, the word tea doesn't necessarily mean the hot beverage.
Okay, afternoon tea is what most people think of when they imagine tea time. A fancy table laid with a nice tea set and delicacies like scones and cucumber sandwiches. Cucumber sandwiches as delicacy is quite
It's
funny.
funny, yeah.
This tradition began with the wealthy class and was a great way to show off to other wealthy visitors.
High tea was traditionally served between 4 and 7 p.m. and was the evening meal for the lower class and for children of wealthy families whose parents would have their dinner much later in the evening after the children were put to bed.
Exactly. Today, the word tea in Great Britain can mean a snack or a small meal.
Right. So high tea must be the origin also of when people now say tea and they mean supper in the north of England. That must be where it comes from, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm just writing an interesting factoid because so the Brits in general are kind of made fun of because of our love for tea, but tea can be found at the beginning of very important turning points for the British Empire. So tea was at the start of the American Revolution with the Boston Tea Party. The Americans knew exactly how to annoy, irritate the British. They dumped lots of tea into the harbor of Boston, and they knew that that's basically giving the middle finger to the British Empire at that
Still
time.
shocking.
It's still shocking, exactly, wasting all of that good tea. Also, the heroin wars with China all comes from tea as well.
Right, it's the tea trade, right? Yeah.
Exactly, because what we were doing was the Chinese obviously had a lot of tea. The British were interested because we love tea. It was basically a drug for us. All of the people back home couldn't be disappointed with lack of tea. So we were trading our silver bullion, so our silver reserves, to the Chinese. After a while, so that went fine for a while because we had a silver reserve. But after a while, we didn't have a lot of silver in the Bank of England. And the Brits said, oh, we have to find a workaround. What they did is that they traded heroin that they got from India to the Chinese in exchange for Chinese silver that then they used to buy Chinese tea.
Because we needed tea.
Exactly. The Chinese found out about this, and seeing as heroin was very illegal at the time, and I think productivity went to zero in that time in China. They started a war with us. Well, who started the war? Like we were introducing heroin into China, so it's not the greatest thing in the world. We had this war for a long, long time, and it was a stalemate. And in the agreement, when everything was negotiated, they actually gave the British Hong Kong for that at the end. So the reason that we had Hong Kong was because we wanted tea.
We needed tea.
Which is the most ridiculous way to arrive at something. But tea is an important thing in British history.
Absolutely.
Conquest of India, China is all because of tea, essentially.
I imagine for you guys in Italy, it's kind of comparable to coffee's place in. I would imagine Italians can understand because there's similar kind of stories and almost kind of mythic status of coffee in the culture here, and it's the same with tea. I wanted to mention the word brew.
Yes.
Brew, which is to brew, and also a brew, which means to make tea. It can mean other things, but if someone says, "Do you want to brew?" they are asking you if you want a cup of tea. And to brew the tea is to allow the tea to sit in the boiling water and mix properly.
Exactly. You also see this in literature, maybe with witches, wizards, magic in general. They brew a potion or something like that. So very much the kind of Macbeth cauldron with them all stirring and brewing something.
Bubble, bubble. Exactly.
We could use this as well, like not just with actual physical brewing, but even for a storm. If a storm you can see in the horizon, black clouds, and you say, oh, a storm is brewing, it's starting, it's getting ready.
Exactly. A storm is brewing.
This is used also metaphorically, even for like world problem.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Storm is brewing. It's very ominous.
Yeah, sinister. It's kind of true. I'm going to go have a cup of tea after this.
Is the table set? Is your table set? Mine is not
set. Absolutely not.
Mine is not at all. Okay, so
here we go.
Probably, yeah, exactly. We've got all of the vocabulary for setting a tea time table. Tea time table. That's a very satisfying tea time table. Tippity toppity time table. Okay, so can you match the vocabulary to the pictures? So Victorian style.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen. Actually, that's not true. It would be a rare thing these days to see such a wonderful tea set brought out.
This is something that is passed down generation to generation in families. That's odd as well, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things, like we prize it so much.
Yeah, I love a good teapot. I don't have a teapot here, but I mean, I don't need to make that much tea. I find when I'm working from home or at the moment, I drink so much tea. It's unbelievable. I practically just constantly have a cup of hot something, whether it's coffee, tea, chamomile tea.
Do you have a kettle here?
Yeah, I do. Which is probably lethal, really, but it's important. Yeah.
It's important. I brought a kettle with me when I moved to Italy.
I went and bought one in my first week here. It was about the only thing I achieved. I was like, I need to get a kettle.
I thought that I wasn't going to find a kettle.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No. Good. So teacup should be A.
The actual cup.
Exactly.
D is the thing that it's on.
Exactly. It's also something that you give cats or dogs.
Yes.
You have like a milk. Yeah, it's usually cats, isn't it? Not dogs. I don't know why.
A dog bowl.
Yeah. Ooh, Fabiola.
Thank you, Fabiola. Nice. Okay. Yes, a teacup.
B is the creamer. Yeah, looks good.
Where's D, Fabiola? But great.
Very good job. Very good.
Cool, Mary. Exactly. Yeah. It's the thing which all these things are on.
Exactly. So F. Yes, exactly. That's the tea tray. Good. Let's have a look at all of them. They match up. Boom.
Boom.
There they are. So we have the tea tray.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I was just about to say that I love sugar bowls, but that was all. It's not important. I just think they're also very important.
It is important. It is. It's important to know what you love.
Yeah, it is more than anything.
So tea tray is
F.
Teacup is A, obviously. Teapot is the container for the tea. We usually brew the tea in the teapot.
That's right.
So we keep everything there. It's quite common as well to leave the tea inside for a long, long time. But at some point, you should take it out because otherwise it becomes too strong. Everyone likes their tea at a different strength, but
Yeah.
leave it in, it's not good. We have the creamer B sugar bowl, which is Hal's favorite. The saucer is what we have to cover it, not cover.
Cover it. To sit on. It's a tiny little plate.
And tongs are what we use to pick up the sugar cubes if you have sugar cubes.
It's 2020. Most people don't.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I hope that this inspired you to have tea time right now.
Go make a cup of tea. I will.
That's all the time we have for today. So see you in the future. Enjoy your cup of tea or your brew as you like.
Thanks, you guys. Yeah, enjoy your brew.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.